sure you go over the rules with me. I don't want to break any rules.
Just don't say anybody else's name that's a client here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's it? All right.
Pretty much.
So I can mention this place.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In fact,
They
it
want me
would
to.
be dope if you did. You know.
I just started saying horrible things.
You're like, I hate it here.
It's awful.
I'm definitely not staying sober, and it's because I came here.
Oh, God.
No, that's not.
I'm sure they'd be stoked. Like, take your podcast down, man.
So Marcus, so you're about to finish. Tomorrow's day 30.
Today is actually day 30.
Oh, today's day 30.
Yes.
Dope. And tomorrow's your rock out ceremony, because at the end we do something called rocking out, where you get a rock, everybody like imbues your rock with like the good energy, the good juju, and then you pick a couple people to speak for you on your behalf, right, that knew you while you were here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can leave it open too, which I'm probably going to do.
Okay, so that anybody can if they want to say something?
Yeah, I'm not picky.
Right on.
Yeah. But
So is this your first time in treatment?
this is actually my third treatment center
Okay.
in the past year.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. What's your DOC?
Drugs and alcohol. It was mostly opiates and benzos.
Okay.
But I'd mix those with alcohol all the time.
Right.
And
Which is really dangerous, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've woken up in places I shouldn't be, places I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was brutal. Like I said, this is my third treatment center this year.
Yeah.
And
When did your using start?
I'd say 15.
15 years old?
Yeah, 15.
That's around the time I started too.
Yeah, I started. Everybody started smoking like
Pot.
yeah, pot, and that was like super big for me. Like
Yeah.
it was it was so out there in the culture at that time. It was around like 2010, 11ish area, and that's when it was like super just becoming mainstream. So like
Yeah, it was getting legalized all over and stuff.
and if you weren't smoking pot, like you were lame so that kind of led me to like opiates because it kind of got old after a while.
Right.
And psychedelics too. I
Yeah.
was super into psychedelics.
Me too.
And until I had I guess you could say like a manic episode on a psychedelic, that kind of changed my perspective. And I was actually sober for a while after that because I couldn't do anything, man. I would get so paranoid and like full of anxiety and stuff.
Like a flashback?
Kind of like that. It was just it left me super vulnerable for about 2 years, where I was like not myself, and
Yeah.
I probably needed to be on medication, but I was scared to take medication. That's how frightened I was. Man.
Yeah. I mean, medication is a little scary, especially if because it seems like like something that's innocuous, like or totally legal, completely sanctioned by the government, and even like a medical professional like will prescribe you something that might get you hooked on other drugs.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it is scary.
Yeah, and I mean, I always wanted to be put on like a benzo or something because I found from taking those it wasn't as bad, my mental health, but a long-term antidepressant, anti-anxiety medicine is what they wanted to put me on. But I was already like depressed and suicidal, and I'd see the side effects of those, and it's like I was like, there's no way I can get more depressed and more suicidal. But that's what kind of kept me from doing it. And not until recently had I actually started a long-term anti-anxiety, antidepressant, which I'm currently on.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, and it's great.
Okay, good.
I wish I started sooner.
Yeah. Good, man. I'm happy to hear that you found that for yourself. Do you think, so pot is, like they say it's a gateway drug, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it clearly is.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely,
I mean?
yeah.
Like regardless of, like some people don't smoke pot and then turn to like super heavy drugs the way that we did.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
but a lot of people do. It's
Yeah.
flat out. It is
I
a
guarantee
gateway
the
drug.
percentage is more people do. I think it also has to do with starting at a young age of smoking
Right.
Like, I think if you started when you were older, you're less likely to gateway off into things.
Yeah, I mean, your brain isn't done developing until you're 25 years
Absolutely, yeah.
old, until that point. And then once you're 25, I believe your brain is no longer like developing and building. Not to say that we can't learn until the day that we die.
I just think it doesn't
Physically,
yeah.
Yeah, physically, we're not done developing our brains till we're 25. So in that process, like, and gosh, man, I really, really wish I could go back in time and just be like, young James, listen, dude, don't do this. Okay, seriously, I'm from the future. I'm telling you right now, don't do this.
Yeah, what our parents always said.
Yeah, dude, they'd be like, you will regret this, and you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm having a good time.
Yeah, never gonna happen to me. And now I'm like,
all right, listen, Dad, I'm never gonna say this again. You were right. All right, okay,
yeah,
you were right, Dad.
I'd have to say the same to my mom, but yeah, on the subject of like why I got here, it was really I had a really good childhood for a good bit there. Like, I had married parents and stuff, but my dad was always absent, and it just went on from there. But we had a lake house in Minnesota, and my dad and mom got a divorce, and I ended up coming down here because we lost the house and we had to like start new. And my mom got involved with a bad dude, and that's where most of my like heavy drug use came from, because he had two sons that were my age, and we all went to the same high school. So it was,
And did they use too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, they were even heavier than me.
Yeah.
And even like stuff I wasn't even like familiar with. Like, I don't know if I can say names of anything on here, but
What, of the drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, like they introduced me to like salvia divinorum.
Which sucks, by the way.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, the worst 10 minutes of my life. You know?
Awful.
Yeah, and I made a fool of myself. I ran down the street in my pants, in my underpants, sweating.
Well,
yeah.
Well, if that had been without the drugs, it might have been a liberating experience.
Yeah, maybe, but I was definitely on the drugs. And my bad. I'm silence that free, but they introduced
you're
me
so
like,
popular.
No, definitely not. Yeah, so they introduced me like Roxy's and Opana and all that stuff. And Xanax I had discovered on my own, but I also sold drugs then a lot, and it was just really bad because I was definitely not one of those dudes who listen to their own code of like not dipping into your own thing. Cause,
Right. Rarely does that work out for people.
Yeah, I wasn't even making money. It was just
too
to
tempting.
keep my
To sustain
going.
your habit.
Yeah, and I had to drop out of high school and stuff.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, man. I got my GED, but I wish I could have walked the graduation line and stuff like my little brother did.
Yeah. I graduated, but like, I didn't walk.
You didn't walk? Why didn't you walk?
I just didn't feel like it. Like looking
You
back,
could
I'm
let
like,
me walk for you, man.
dude, yeah. Looking back, I'm like, why? What was the? I legitimately told my vice principal of the high school that the stage was not for walking; it was for rocking.
Oh, whoa! That's your yearbook
So
quote, right?
hardcore. So stupid.
That's
actually.
your yearbook
so
quote,
dumb.
guaranteed.
One thing that, sorry, I just wanted to make mention of this. Dad, you were wrong. The tattoos are dope. I don't regret them at all.
Yeah, I do like your tattoos.
Well,
I
thank you.
noticed them yesterday.
So do you think that, like, on a certain level, folks like us, we're young, your parents get divorced, like there's a chaotic schism in the homeostasis of your life, the balance, right? Like you have this balance, you have this safety net, and then something like that happens and it breaks your world up, and now you're dealing with like anxiety and depression, and like it breaks your home up, it breaks up your entire life. So on a certain level, it sounds like maybe we are medicating.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're medicating ourselves.
Yeah.
We're choosing to try and not feel all of these heavy feelings we're feeling.
Yeah. And, there was a part of me that was very unhappy with them splitting up, but my dad wasn't the greatest dad. So, like, I kind of liked when he wasn't around because he was a very angry person.
Okay.
And I think that has a lot to do with, and, he pops into my life still time to time. I haven't seen him since I was 21. But when he popped in my life at 21, I was 16 the last time I saw him, and he just wanted to use drugs when I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Okay.
After 5 years.
Wow. So your father's a
Addict, yeah.
yeah, is an addict as well.
Yeah, it runs in my family.
Damn.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
both sides. So.
Almost like, to a certain degree, it's like, how could you not? You know, how could you not experience the stuff that you went through?
The cards were dealt.
Yeah, man.
It was not ideal.
So, okay. So now, this is your third treatment center that you've been to this year. So clearly you want to recover.
Yeah.
Like you want recovery, right?
Yeah. The first one I went to wasn't for me, though.
Okay.
It was for a partner I had at the time.
Okay. That doesn't generally work out.
No, it did not. I went there for the complete wrong reason. And the second one, I did have like an idea that I wanted to be sober. I was like, I don't want to, keep waking up not knowing what I did, or all my money just went into that. So, but this time I was like, I have to do it. It wasn't like a choice really. It was like, it has to be done. Or, life isn't worth living when you're living like that, know. I did not enjoy anything. Yeah. Like it was, I didn't even enjoy using at that point. It was like, so I wouldn't get sick.
Right.
And, like it was not anything I'd wish on anybody to go through.
Yeah.
So this one, I came in here, I had to go to a detox center. My bad. And it was very rough, way rougher than the other ones, because this time I surrendered everything for this one. I had no other option, as I said. And as soon as I left the detox center, I came here, and I immediately fell in love, man. This is it's nothing
with Oasis.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Oasis has been like life changing, for real.
Yeah.
And at first, I thought it was gonna be like really bad.
Yeah.
Just I got recommended it from somebody I met in a center. He was like, "Yeah, it's like really cool, and you're surrounded by dudes all the time." I was like, "Well, that doesn't sound great." I was like, "That sounds awful," but like you build such like great relationships being in a house with these guys that are all struggling through the same thing. It's really detrimental to like part of my recovery here was like building these like brotherly bonds with guys, And
Not so detrimental would be bad. So it was
supplemental
to
supplemental. Not detrimental. My bad.
No worries.
Try to use a big word.
I just wanted to clear it up. I was hold on, was it?
Yeah,
was it detrimental?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I would say that was a big like it was detrimental in my other ones though, because they were like co-ed.
Yeah.
And you can't focus on recovery or being like out there with yourself. You can't speak freely because your brain's gonna immediately be like, "Oh,
what does she think?"
Yeah, what does she think? The pretty girl in the corner, right. Like, she thinks I'm weird now.
Yeah, that's classic. That's classic for us. Like if you're like me, then your brain will try to find any way to distract itself from dealing with the heavy shit that we got to deal with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In recovery.
What you have to do.
Yeah, but I'll be like, if because I was sort of like a whatever I could get my hands on type of person. Same. But I just, and I feel really lucky that I didn't get super into opiates, but I did smoke heroin for a while and stuff. And I smoked crack for a while and stuff, but that stuff was so quickly unsustainable for me that like I was always able to like be like, okay, I think maybe I'll just stick to drinking. You know what I mean? But I just, for whatever reason, I could not stop drinking. Well, not because I'm an alcoholic, but I was also a drug addict, man. Like I did, right up until the end, like I was always, as soon as I got drunk, if there was something else there, I was going to do that. But what was always around in my circle was cocaine.
Yeah. And that was the main thing I actually started going to rehab for was alcohol because I was a bartender.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah. And just this year I stopped doing that, but I stopped doing it right before I came here. Yeah. And because I lost my job for drinking while you were bartending? Yeah, because I was like, if I'm just
sloshed.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I got my heart broken, stuff like that, but I've been drinking super heavy for the past 2 years, and I'm 26 right now, and like to where it was like some days I would literally drink a whole fifth of Jameson whiskey, and the hangover from that will make you reconsider anything, man.
Yeah,
it was horrible, man.
Yeah. So, do you have what's your next move? Do you know? Are you like, because you're getting out over on Monday, you're going to stay over the weekend. You told me that's cool. By the way, that's dope.
Yeah, I want
to stay that extra weekend. Are you do you have like a plan for after you get out of here? Are you feeling nervous about graduating?
I do have a plan, but I think everybody's nervous when they leave here.
Oh yeah,
they'd
good.
be lying if they said they weren't.
Yeah, good.
You know?
We're glad to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That means that you understand what's at stake.
You know, yeah, exactly. What's at stake. But yeah, I have a plan to go to a sober living.
Great.
I'll be doing a intensive outpatient, which is like where I'm pretty much in.
You're going to do IOP here at Oasis.
Yeah. So I'll be being drug tested and coming to Monday, Wednesday, Friday to the IOP meetings, and I also got a sponsor too. Yeah,
bro, I'm so happy to hear that.
Someone here hooked me up with him, and
Right
he's a super cool guy. I haven't even got to meet him yet.
Great,
because I'm still in here.
Great.
But I'm
You're gonna do the steps.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
go
everything,
to the meetings
man,
and stuff,
which I've never done before. So
that's huge, dude.
Yeah,
make yourself love the meetings.
Oh,
make
dude,
yourself
I go
love
every
them.
night.
Great.
Like we don't go on Friday, and I'm like, can we please go on Friday?
Yeah.
We didn't go because we went to a movie. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we went to the movie theater. I was complaining the whole time because I couldn't go to a meeting. But
did you enjoy the movie anyhow, though?
Yeah, it's a good James Bond movie, man.
Hey,
yeah,
right on.
Can't lie, it was good.
Right on.
I won't spoil it for you, but
Daniel Craig's still James Bond right now.
Yep.
Right on. He's a beast.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool, dude. So you're gonna stay in Asheville?
Relocating.
Dang. That's awesome, dude. That's really
straight
good.
from Wilmington.
When you do something like build a community like the one that you built here with your brothers of recovery that you're with right now, and then you stick it out with that community, that can be a really powerful tool for long-term recovery. It's essential to have a community. And
absolutely,
you'll be building a community at the meetings and stuff. You'll make friends and stuff, and that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Don't feel weird about asking people for their number. Just be like, yo, let me get your number, man. Just say it, because they'll be stoked.
Yeah.
So everybody feels a little awkward at first, asking a grown man for his number so you can be friends. It's
yeah.
But that's how we were when we were kids. I don't know if you remember. If I was anyway.
Oh, no,
hey,
absolutely.
do you want to be friends?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, do we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do kung fu in the garage?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So that was one of the main things. I'm glad you brought that up. Is that I was super nervous about going to like the meetings and like connecting with people, but as I've gone already, I'm like, I go up to people and I'm like, hey, can I get your number? And also, a lot of NA, AA meetings will offer you like a number list of the guys in there and stuff, and I'm sure they're not going to put that number down unless they're comfortable with people randomly calling or texting them.
That's right.
So that's something I put my number down on.
We freaking hope, that we get that call.
Absolutely.
Someone's like, yo, I'm thinking about using. Oh, great. Well, I'm glad you called.
Yeah, for real.
Because now you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. And
And you just
that's what's great about a sponsor as well. Even though I've never had one in my life, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I know I can call this guy and talk to him, even though I've not met him yet.
Yeah.
And he will.
You already called him, though.
Yeah. I've called him and talked to him and texted. But
does this guy want you to call him every day right now, or what's his?
He seems pretty lax at the moment because he knows I'm still here.
Right.
But I'm sure once I'm in the sober living or whatever you want to call it, we'll have more of a rule set to my step work.
Word. That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the steps. Changed my life big time. Yeah.
So you work the steps?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What step are you on?
I'm on currently 4 again for the second time.
I hear that's the hardest one.
It doesn't have to be. It just is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, though. It doesn't have to be as hard as we make it in our heads. It's just like, just sit down and do it. It's the procrastinating that makes it hard. You don't have to procrastinate. I'm procrastinating right now. I have no right to tell you anything I just said. But I think I'm trying to remind myself that it doesn't have to be as big a deal as I'm making it right now. Yeah. Right now.
Oh, you're not the first one who's said that to me,
I'm on it again.
Yeah.
The first time I did it, it was really, really eye-opening, because you write down your character defects and stuff, which sounds awful, but it's dope, dude, because I'm like, okay, I didn't even realize how much jealousy was messing me up. I'd be so jealous of other people's stuff, and now I genuinely feel happy for people when they succeed. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
When people do the stuff that I want to do, I don't feel jealous. I feel stoked for them, because I'm like, all right, it's doable. Not only number one, it's doable, but number two, I love that person. I want them to have all of the stuff that I want. I want them to have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I need to work on, because
it'll happen.
Jealousy is a huge character defect for me.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It's a useless emotion.
Yeah, it's a waste of time, really. Why not just be happy, your fellow human or a friend, or even if somebody you don't like, you should be happy for them if they're doing. I mean, I say that out loud.
That's some Jedi. You let me know when you get there, and I will come to your feet and say, "Tell me how it is, Master."
Hey, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna BS you. No.
No. Ideally, one would be happy for everybody.
Yeah.
One of the things actually that I've noticed that was a direct result of working steps and meditating and stuff. You become aware of these processes that your brain does. And one of the things that I've noticed is that we always want, I think as humans, I think it's a totally natural human thing, is we want to have an enemy to fight.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
We'll pick somebody or something that's the enemy on a daily basis from moment to moment. Like there's a struggle. And I actually think it's like I've read about how it's related to survival. Like the saber-toothed tiger is my enemy. I have to be mindful and watchful for this fucking guy, because he'll come and bite my head off, right?
Absolutely.
So there's no more saber-toothed tigers. So now it's like, that person looked at me weird. And now my survival instinct kicks in about this, and that person becomes the enemy. They're the other. They're coming for my tribe, they're coming, for my village or whatever. Yeah. They're going to pillage and take my shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a vestige of, a primordial thought process, like some reptilian brain type stuff. Where
fight or flight.
Yeah, fight or flight gets activated, and then I release cortisol, and then I'm stressed, and it manifests in all these ugly ways in my life. It's not good for your health, so on and so forth. So if I can meditate, because on my best day, I am happy for somebody that I don't like. And I think one of the best pieces of spiritual advice that has come to me during one of my little meditation sessions is stop disliking people.
100%.
Yeah.
I
don't have to hang out and bring them to my home and like have dinner with them. Yeah. But like, if I can just stop turning that person into the enemy and going, oh God, like you go to a meeting and there's frequently some annoying person at an X meeting. You know what I mean?
100%.
And every time they talk, you're like, oh God, I wish this guy would not share.
Put your head down.
Yeah. But if you can go, this person's sick like me and they need help, and the best way for me to help them is just to sit here and just listen to them for the next 5 minutes, and then it's over and get on with my life. And so can they. And I was of service to them by just chilling and being present for them. Yeah.
It actually happened to me last night.
Some annoying person spoke?
Yeah. Somebody I just can't.
You just can't.
I just can't. And he shared, and I actually listened for once rather than just immediately hearing the first few words and I shut it off.
Yeah.
And I look down, or I look at my friend like, oh, here we go.
Right.
And I listened to him, man, and it actually spoke to me quite a bit.
Dang.
And yeah.
There it is.
I was like, oh, man, we have more in common than I thought.
Yeah.
He thinks like me a bit. And I'm really glad I did that. And I even said something when on the way back to the house. I was like, I'm really glad I listened to that guy. I know you guys have heard me say I don't like him, but I'm glad I listened tonight.
Yeah.
Because, you can learn something from everybody, even the people you don't like.
Yeah, absolutely. especially from the people you don't like. There's a reason you don't like them. It's like,
whether it be your fault or their fault.
Or because they remind you of yourself and
yeah,
annoys you.
I think that might be it now. I'm like, oh gosh, he's me. That's why I don't like him.
Oh no! All right, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Look, so 30 days. I'm really happy for you, man. That's a huge accomplishment. 30 days is especially when you come from the places that we come from and stuff that we went through. 30 days is enormous, man. Keep going, please, man. And check in with us and with me, and tell me how your progress is going, man. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you for doing this today, bro.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
luck.
It was fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Right on.
Thanks.